Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. It's time for Red Devil Radio. And we're here at Coquille High School. The Red Devils are on the court right now warming up. The ladies are going to play volleyball, and they are hosting the Siuslaw Vikings tonight. Going to be a good game. We'll look at them on the paper, and we'll go over the stats momentarily. About 6 minutes until we get it going, so we're looking forward to our game tonight, and should be a whole lot of fun. This pregame report brought to you by our friends at the City of Coquille. We're broadcasting live tonight from the Coastal Coffee broadcast booth, and we thank all of our sponsors so much. Our athlete of the game brought to you by the Amling Schroeder Funeral Service, and of course, in between sets, our time will be brought to you by Les Schwab Tire Centers. Again, pre- and post-game reports by the City of Coquille. And thank you so much to Coquille Supply for setting us up with these great shirts and nice warm jackets for the football and basketball season. Lee, how are you tonight?
You know, I am just having a good time. Tony found some T-shirts, radio T-shirts from a radio station here.
Very nice.
Found them in the closet and said, hey, we got a bunch of these T-shirts we got to give away. So I just been kind of like hanging out doing that.
I noticed you're down there like Santa Claus having a ball with that.
Well, I got to be honest with you. I went ahead and I had one of those awesome hot dogs there. At the concession stand.
Yeah.
Man, let me tell you what, they are good.
I know, man. They're good.
They plump when you eat them, that's for darn sure. But anyway, all kinds of cool things going on. We were talking about, of course, tonight's game. Then we got Thursday night's game that's coming up. Because I tell you, the season's just about coming to an end before we start thinking about going to state. Because,
betcha.
Of course, Siuslaw is here tonight. Glide's going to be here on Thursday. And then we got Marshfield Invitational Volleyball Tournament that Coquille's going to be in. And we're going to be in what they call the West Gym. That's over there by the main gym.
Okay.
But anyway, our first game is going to be at 8:30. Then we're going to play at 11:30 and 12:30, and then we'll go from there to see where we are in the championship bracket.
All right. Yeah, we're looking for go Red Devils. It'd be great to see them go all the way to state and take a state championship. That's where my money's laying.
Well, yeah, and, we talk about the season's winding on down. Of course, the state championship, that'll all be here in Marshfield as well as over at the Bulldog.
Exciting.
But as I said, tonight and Thursday, that's our last home game, besides any tournament or state games. I'm sorry.
Sure.
The 22nd, 24th, we're going to be out of town, Sutherland and South Umpqua, to wrap the season up.
Yes,
so
we will. That's going to be a busy week as well.
Yeah, man. We want to have folks come on out if they would and cheer on these ladies, because it's going to be really important to get as much support as we possibly can. So therefore, when the girls are getting ready to go.
Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about the Coquille Red Devils and their stats on paper. Here at the OSAA today, this is all pregame information, of course. In league, the Lady Red Devils are 6-0. Overall, they're 12-2. They've won 36 sets, but they've lost 10 so far this season. They are sitting at the OSA ranking slot at number 9. If we go down and talk about the Siuslaw Vikings tonight, in league they are 2-4. Overall, they're 6-9. They've won 24 sets, they've lost 28, and they are in the OSAA ranking slot at number 26, and that's where both teams are before the game. That's the stats right now at OSAA, and you can get all your team information at osaa.org. Great information on every team in the state of Oregon, every sport in the state of Oregon. You can follow, if you like to follow the teams in Brookings or the teams in Umatilla, you can do it right here on the OSAA site. That's the Oregon School Activities Association. They have an app you can download from Google Play Store, or you can just go right to Google and Google OSAA. A lot of times teams and leagues will pop up, and that's your best bet for going right into the team that you're looking for. So, again, we are always looking for officials statewide in every sport. And you don't really have to be very proficient in your sport. The staff is eager to train and to teach you, and it would really be an asset to the community. So give it a thought and think about it. It's a paid position. It gets you out, gets you active, gets you involved with the schools and the community, and it's a whole lot of fun. So if you can schedule a little time in that and your heart tells you it's the right thing to do, go to osaa.org, and on the home page, you'll find a blue block that says Become an Official. hit it right there and take it away.
Well, and we do have a bit of unhappy news. I was talking to Lexi Lucatero.
Yeah.
She is sidelined. What happened is, she thought she sprung her ankle here a few weeks ago, she actually tore the cartilage away from the bone.
Ow.
So she's heading up to the doctors on Friday. They'll do more of an assessment for her to try to find out exactly what's what, how severe it is. And, we're also going to find out, how much time she will be missing on the court. So, she's such an asset.
Yeah, she really is.
And then you got, volleyball, you got basketball. I mean, she's such a great athlete. What a beautiful person, too. I know that I was talking with her mom and her dad a little bit, because it's very emotional for them to see her on the sidelines.
Of course.
And not knowing, what's what at the moment. So it makes it really difficult.
And I would assume, too, that it's murder for Lexi to be on the side while her team is on the court. That's got to be tough.
Absolutely. So it's going to be felt in a very major way. She plays that net so well. And,
Yep.
And but, the girls have been practicing, and, they're ready for tonight. When I was down there, hey, no more running. When I was down there, high-fiving them like I always do before a ball game, and just chatting with them a little bit, they were pretty jacked. I mean, they're ready for tonight, and they know that it's going to be a tough game, and so they're hoping to do it in 3. But we'll just have to see how it all plays out.
Yeah, that's it. We'll have to see how it all plays out. As you've mentioned before, it doesn't matter what the the stats are on paper, but when the rubber hit the road, that's really where it comes down to it.
All right, and so the girls are wearing different uniforms tonight, so they have different numbers, so bear with us, because we're used to saying one thing and we might come in as another. Well, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and so the girls are out here wearing their white T-shirts. They've got pink letters and numbers on them, so we're going to do the best that we possibly can. So but it's going to be a great game, and there's still plenty of time if you're listening to come on down and check it out. And, of course, you can always pick up all the action also on YouTube at CHS 8, CHS Events, and you'll be able to see the games here tonight as well.
Yeah, it's fun to pull the game ups on YouTube and watch them. It
really is.
It is a lot of fun, yeah. Reliving some of our games.
Dan and I, of course, we critique ourselves, but we enjoy the evening of or the next day or whatnot to turn it on and watch it. And what's nice is that you could also see the JV game that was before us, which Siuslaw won 2 out of 3 on that, but it'll be really a neat thing just to be able to watch. We're going to get ready for our Pledge of Allegiance, and would ask that you would please join us. States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, so we are going to get ready for our starting lineup. They're going to read a little bit of good sportsmanship. I was commenting on that, on what's happening in Coquille after our last football game Friday night. Coquille had a tough one. I mean, they lost.
Yeah, sure did.
They just got outplayed, and they lost. But the sportsmanship was just phenomenal with both teams. I mean, when there's a tackle made and one of the other team members were down, the other team was up there to help them get up. And this was something that went on the entire game, on the entire field.
Yep.
So, that was just really, really awesome to see. I really greatly appreciated watching that. So I think we're going to start off with Siuslaw. Here's starting lineup.
Okay, starting tonight for the Siuslaw Vikings is number 1, Kaylee Stringer, a junior this year. Number 2 is Abby Riggs. She's a senior. Number 5, our libero tonight, is Paige Bottensek. She's a sophomore this year. Number 8 is Stella Duman, a sophomore this year. Number 9 is Kimberly Martinez Munoz. She is a senior this year. Number 10 is Mia Snyder, a junior this year. And last but certainly not least is Kamora Lake, a senior this year, and she is number 12 on the court. That's the starting lineup for the Siuslaw Vikings.
Did they change also numbers? It looked like they changed numbers out there too when they were coming out. Maybe not.
Yeah, I don't know. There were a couple of 2s on the court earlier when they were warming up.
I was noticing that, a couple of different 8s, a couple of 9s.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough game to call.
Well, starting for your Lady Red Devils, of course, it is Peyton Drake. And then we have Olivia Brophy. And then, of course, we come back in here with Bristol Layton, Holly Rijou, and, of course, Candace Little.
All right.
And to finish it up, Coral Havret. Along with Miss Johnson there. That's Caitlin Johnson.
There she is.
They kept rolling out and there, and here we go. Going to be a fun time tonight. So we'll see which way they're going to go now. Go through their little ritual and come around and high five each of the ball players, and they will get set and ready to go. Gotta say thanks again to Coquille Supply. You know, it was really nice being able to have these nice warm jackets.
Oh, man.
We're going to need them Friday night, because Friday night we're going over to Douglas.
Boy, they came in handy down there in Brookings, too. It got cold that night.
Yep.
Holy moly.
Well, we'll be in the elements to a degree anyway at Douglas. That'll be another tough game. They're 5-1 overall right now.
Douglas is?
Yeah, the football team. I was looking at that actually earlier.
Yeah, that was a rough Friday night for the Red Devils. They had their hands full, that's for sure. And you win a few, you lose a few. Mm-hmm. That's life.
So we're going to have Johnson in the back starting off with our serving for the Lady Red Devils. It's served to the back of the court.
And the set goes up. Oh, Munoz over the net to Coquille.
A bump by Johnson to Drake. Rijou over for the first point.
And we had Stinger going for the dig. Just couldn't get that ball airborne.
So as we just get things underway, here's Johnson's second serve.
The bump and the set by Munoz. Back over the net.
There's Little. Johnson, Rijou with the hit.
Oh,
and
Stinger.
there's another point.
Little shank off the hand of Stinger. Puts a point on the board for the Red Devils.
I wasn't sure. I didn't have time to look at the stats for Siuslaw. Did you get a chance to see how close they were on paper anyway?
Yeah, I did, and
there's a point for Johnson with the serve. Goes off the wrist of the Siuslaw player there. Goes out of bounds.
I went over the Siuslaw stats, and in league they're 2-4. They're 6-9 overall.
Oh, okay.
And Coquille is 6-0, 12-2 overall.
Beautiful.
There's Dunham, and over the net to Coquille.
Oh, great job by Peyton. There's Johnson. Rijou over.
Here's the set. Dunham, Munoz. Blocked at the net. Munoz with a set. Dunham up.
There goes Drake. Johnson. And there's Brophy. And it's tipped, so it's going to be a point for Coquille.
Nice kill for Brophy. First kill of the game.
Very nicely done. So Coquille is looking very sharp here. 4-0. Served by Johnson.
And the set. A little hard.
Yep. It is out of there. Great net play already by the Red Devils. Of course, we've seen a lot of that. Of course, we will miss Lexi there on that net for sure.
We sure will. Oh, got it over barely.
Layton, Johnson, and then to Rijou, blocked at the net.
Yeah, that was Munoz with the block right there for Siuslaw.
That almost went out of bounds, so very good play by Siuslaw at the net.
Here's the serve to Coquille.
Rijou, Johnson, Brophy.
And the set by Dunham. Over to Coquille.
So we go Drake to Johnson. Another hard hit by Brophy.
Duman with a set. Oh, good block by Coquille there at the net. Back to Siuslaw. Munoz back to Coquille.
There's Little. Johnson. Leighton over.
Bottensek. Munoz back to Coquille.
There's Little again for Johnson's set. Bijou with a hard kill. Says you're not blocking that one, gosh dang it. So Little's going to come out. Lily. Echevarria. I love saying it like that.
Yeah.
Hope it's okay.
She's awesome. If it wasn't, she'd straighten us up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you betcha.
It's served by Brophy.
Nice block by Coquille. Puts a point back into their column.
Bijou and Leighton doing a man. They did a great job right there.
7-1, first set. Coquille on top. Here's the serve. Goes back to Siuslaw. There's Munoz with the bump. And back to Coquille.
There's Brophy. Johnson. Bijou with another kill.
Another kill. Ollie, outstanding.
8-1 Coquille now in the first set. Brophy continues back at the serve line. Is that in or out? Well, the line judge said it is out. It was awfully close.
Yes, sir. Stella Duman serving to Coquille.
Drake to Johnson. Bijou with the hit. Met at the net, but they're coming back over for a point. Siuslaw.
Duman with the serve.
Drake, Johnson. Here comes Leighton with the hit.
And Stinger with the set. Back over the net. Coquille trying to block it. Back in Coquille side.
Brophy to Johnson. Bijou over.
Stinger with the set.
Great block by Leighton at the net.
You bet.
It's the set. And that's a kill for
Ollie,
Ollie.
third kill. 9-3, Coquille.
Averett's coming in, and Drake will have a set. I was talking to Peyton a little bit, and she's just full of smiles today. Said, are you ready? She goes, oh, heck yeah, Lee, we're ready.
Yeah, she's ready. All right.
Leighton with the serve.
She's playing libero tonight, isn't she?
Yeah.
How about that?
Great block.
Brophy, what a
Brophy.
save. Oh,
Good dig by the Coquille Red Devils. Just couldn't hang in there with it. So Drake's going to come back on. Leighton's going to take a sit for a minute.
serve to Coquille.
There's Brophy to Johnson. Now comes Drake.
And a nice bump set by Stinger. Munoz. Oh, blocked at the net. Back to Coquille.
Johnson to Drake. Oh, I just couldn't get it up. Everybody had a great job there blocking at the net, and they kind of set it up for her, but I don't think she was sure if it was going to be for her to take or not.
Right.
And it just didn't quite get to it.
Serve to Coquille.
There's Bijou to Johnson. Bijou with the hit over.
There's the bump and a set by Stinger. Munoz looking at it over the net to Coquille.
There's Drake. Johnson with the set. Every man at the net with the block. Great job by Siuslaw to drop it back over for a point.
Yeah, Mia Snyder on the block for Siuslaw. That gives them the serve, and that'll be Chloe Clark serving for Siuslaw. Here's the serve. Too strong in the backcourt, and that'll put a point on the board for Coquille. It's 10-6. Red Devils on top and serving.
And we're going to have Bijou back on the serve line.
Stinger with the set.
Drake to Johnson. There's a hit by Lily and a point.
All right.
That's it, but yeah. Very nicely done.
11-6 Coquille. To Siuslaw. Oh, couldn't make it. There was Chloe Clark on the bump, and Mia Snyder couldn't get the set. Point for Coquille, 12-6. Coquille serving. Oh, all right, Lily.
Another point by Echeverria.
Beautiful. Good work.
Nicely done, nicely done.
13-6, Coquille. Serving to Siuslaw. There's the set, and that's Stinger. Oh, it looks like that was inside. That's a kill for Mia Snyder on the Siuslaw side of the ball. It's 13-7, and the serve goes to them. Abby Riggs serving for the Vikings. Here's the serve.
Bijou, Johnson puts it over.
And Stinger over the net. A dig saves it.
Great dig. Here it is for Everett.
A dig and Munoz.
Brophy to Drake. Bijou over.
Block slows it down for Coquille.
There's Brophy, hits it over.
And that's Riggs to Stinger. Munoz back to Coquille.
Brophy on the bump, the set by Johnson. Everett, Everett went ahead and nailed it to go over the net, but it was met right there with the block. Dropped down point for Siuslaw. 13-8 currently. Coquille.
Riggs on the serve. Pardon me.
Bijou. There's Johnson. Yeah. Echeverria just went ahead and couldn't quite get it over the top. Hits the net, drops for a point, Siuslaw. 13-9.
And serving is Abby Riggs. Jump serve answered by Coquille. Oh, into the stands. That one's definitely out. And so Siuslaw will take the serve. That'll take Abby Riggs to the back line. She'll be serving for Siuslaw. Here's the serve. There's Drake with the bump and the set. Bijou sends it back over. Oh, it's high and shanked. And that puts a point on the board for Coquille. It'll be 14-10. And the Red Devils will take the serve. Drake on the back line for the Red Devils. That's Peyton Drake. She's our libero tonight as well. Serving for Coquille. Here's the serve. Jump serve into the net. Puts a point on the board for Siuslaw and turns the service over to them. That'll take Kylie Stinger to the backcourt, serving for Siuslaw. Here's the serve, jump serve. It's bumped and saved. Brophy over the net, back to.
Yep, they're going to say that. What have they got?
I don't know what happened down there. Yeah, it could be. Yeah, if they're out of rotation.
I don't know, Tony. You can tell Tony's in the house. Tony's all over it. He's on it.
Yeah, he is.
We'll just get him busy right now. We ain't got time to wait.
He's all over the place.
Well, that's one thing about Tony. He's a great athletic director, but he's also on top of all of it.
He's a busy guy. And back over the net to the Red Devils.
Little with the bump. And the hit by Brophy is another point.
Brophy with another kill. Second kill of the game for her. Scores 15-12. Coquille on top.
So, Tony, you were saying you were over the soccer field.
Yeah, just got back from our home boys soccer game. Boys played real even in the first half, but gave up a couple of second half goals and unfortunately lost 1-0-2. And I got a report from Rogue River where our girls are playing soccer this afternoon, and they secured a 2-0 win down there.
All right, Red Devils.
Outstanding.
Yeah, and our girls soccer, they're right on the bubble for the playoffs.
Really?
Which is they're right in there. I think it'll be between them and Cascade Christian for the last spot in the league.
Oh, wow, that's exciting. And we got a timeout because they're going over the rotation all now. We got Coach Mindy over there with the book as well as with the official.
Yeah,
So-
I think Mindy is pretty sure they weren't out of rotation.
I tell you what, they are definitely on top. Between Mindy and McKenna, there's not a lot you're going to be able to get past those two ladies. So, and thank you, by the way. I got the email. about the tournament in Marshfield. And from what I understand, we're going to be in the West Gym.
Yeah, during pool play, I do believe, and depending how they do out of pool play, of course.
Yeah. Now, isn't the West Gym, isn't that kind of across from the main gym?
Yeah, it's on the same level.
Yeah.
Up there on the top level at Marshfield. Way back in the day when I worked there in 1987, they just got done calling it the girls' gym. So it's progressed along.
Just since 87.
Yep.
Well, weren't you a wrestling coach there?
Yeah, did coached a lot of sports there at my 21 years in the Coos Bay School District.
Nice.
Yeah, but wrestling mainly. Yeah.
Mia Snyder on the serve for the Vikings. Score is 15-13 Coquille. Here's a serve.
There's Viju. And the hit by Brophy. It's going to be a point as it comes off the hands of Siuslaw. It goes out of bounds. Coquille now up by 3, 16-13. We're going to have Caitlin Johnson in the back for Coquille with the serve. You got Candace Little and you got Peyton Drake also in the back line. Of course, you've got Brophy, you've got Layton, and you've got Viju in the front.
Munoz trying to tap that ball back over, got blocked by Coquille. And back over the net to the Red Devils.
Johnson, here comes Viju with the hard hit, and it's going to be a point. As the ladies just cannot handle that hard hit. I'll be honest with you, I don't know if I could either.
Yeah.
I think I'd just duck.
That thing comes flying at you like a bullet, doesn't it? Sometimes Viju hits that ball, man. It's on its way.
So now we're going to stop and take a look again at some things. I'm not quite sure what it is, but
17-13, Coquille up by 4.
since we got just a moment, how's the son doing after the football game? Did he need a new cast Monday?
He did, and
Imagine that.
but here's new cast news. They cut it off, took an X-ray, and said just brace it and tape it, and you're okay to
good.
go. So no more cast.
Yeah, beautiful.
No more trips to Roseburg on Monday for a new cast.
That's it.
Well, yeah,
And he's healing up good. So
Yeah,
that's
he's healed enough to play without it. So.
outstanding.
well, the story behind this, of course, I was speaking with Mrs. Jones, his mom, and of course your wife. But anyway, was saying, you know, hey Lee, did you know anything the latest? I said, well, what's that? And that's when she mentioned, well, every single Monday since he broke his hand, they've had to put a new cast on. And the last time the doctor said, here, I'll take care of it, and I'll make sure it don't break. Well, it broke.
It broke. Yep. So it gets out of it a week and a half early than scheduled, so that's a good thing.
I'll tell you what, though, that was a very physical game. There's no surprise that cast broke. Holy smokes.
Yeah, every week.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I haven't had a chance to talk with Coach Dave or anything yet about, a couple injuries that we have. Have you heard anything by chance?
Yeah, everybody's back practicing.
Okay.
They took a little precautionary halftime out for Waylon Meserly during the game.
Yes.
Hurt his back a bit, and they wanted to make sure he's going to be okay.
Yeah.
But he came back. He's been practicing all week.
Good. Outstanding.
Yeah. Well, they were taking a little while on this timeout to get it sorted out. The officials are now meeting. Got to tell you, very impressed by Ms. Brophy out there. Well-placed balls on those kills.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
She's got 3 kills so far.
Yeah,
It's only the first set.
Yeah, not exhibiting the power Holly has out there, but her placement is just outstanding.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so we're going to get ready to play some ball here. And Siuslaw will be taking the serve. That's Munoz in the backcourt. She'll be serving for Siuslaw.
All right, here we go. Coach got it all figured out, I'm sure.
There's the serve.
Here comes Brophy with the hit, and it's another point with a kill.
Kind of automatic.
Yeah.
Hey, the official over there is still talking to the head bookkeeper. I would assume they have it all figured out, or they would still be discussing.
Yep.
So Johnson continues on the serve line at 18-14.
And there's Munoz back over the net.
Drake to Johnson. Here comes Bijou with the hard hit. And it's a point because it is coming off the fingertips of Siuslaw.
19-14, Coquille. Bottensack with the bump. There's a set by Duman over the net of the Red Devils.
Leighton over.
There's Stinger over the net.
Little to Johnson. Bijou with another hard hit with the point. You know, Tony mentions Brophy. I tell you, when you got a combination like Brophy
And Bijou,
and
yeah.
Bijou out there, man, I'm here to tell you.
It's a force to be reckoned with, that's for sure.
Well, and you know, the other thing, too, that's really come on is Peyton Drake.
There's Stinger and Dunham. Back to Coquille.
Nicely done. Oh! Yeah, that just can't get over. Johnson made a nice little tap over, and then it came back, and Bijou tried to just do a nice little gentle tap over, but it just didn't quite make it over.
That dang net got in her way.
There's Drake. There's Brophy with the hit going cross-side. Johnson to Drake. Bijou's coming back over, and it'll be a point.
21-15, Red Devils. And they'll maintain the serve. Coming onto the court is Lacatour, and that will give Duman a rest.
Echeverria will come on for Little. You know, she's really coming on strong as well, coming off that bench.
Yeah.
Lily's doing a really good job. Oh, served by Brophy into the net, so that'll be a turnover for Siuslaw as they'll go ahead and take the serve. 21-16.
Chloe Clark serving for Siuslaw.
Brophy. Johnson. Leighton with a beautiful hit over.
Nice save. There's Stinger.
And it's out. So Drake will sit down and take a rest as Everett will come back on.
22-16, Coquille.
Leighton on the serve.
Stinger with a tap over the net puts a point on the board for Siuslaw.
And that was a tough one rolling around the net. So Drake will come back on as Leighton has a sit.
Abby Riggs serving for the Vikings. Here's the serve.
Out.
And too strong. Puts a point on the board for the Red Devils and puts them in service. 23-17, Coquille.
Bijou with the serve. And it's going to be a point as it shanks off the side.
Match point for the Red Devils.
Oh, into the net.
And that's a point for Siuslaw. 24-18, Siuslaw with the serve. Kaylee Stinger on the serve for the Vikings.
This is Brophy. Johnson. Everett was met at the net. It's going to be a point for Siuslaw.
Yeah, nice block by Mia Snyder. And so Stinger serving. Here's the serve.
Drake puts it over. Got the block. There's Johnson over to Drake. Bijou nails it over.
Back to Duman. And Siuslaw trying to close the gap now. The score 24-20, Coquille. And Kylie Stinger in the backcourt for the serve. Here's the serve. Brophy, nobody there to answer it. Puts a point on the board for Siuslaw as they close the gap. It's 21-24. Coquille on top with a 3-point lead. Here's the serve from the Vikings. Into the net, and that puts a board, and that does the match, the first set of the match, rather. 25-21, Coquille wins.
Well, Dan and Lee, I understand, aside from being here on Thursday with our final regular season volleyball home game, you guys are going to make a guest appearance this weekend over at the Marshfield tournament.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that. You know, Marshfield is such a great place to call a game. I love calling basketball there. It's just such a wonderful facility. 360-degree arena.
360 arena.
Man, it's good stuff.
Well, and what I'm excited about, too, is we're going to have the volleyball state over there as well.
Yep.
Now, North Bend's included with that, too, isn't it?
Yeah, the for this weekend, North Bend is included also. Our JVs are having their own separate tournament that'll be at North Bend High School Saturday.
Nice.
And the varsity is at Marshfield in both the West and Main Gym all day Saturday.
Okay.
When we get to the state tournament level, the 4A and 3A classifications are both in the Bay Area, with North Bend hosting the 4A and Marshfield hosting the 3A.
Nice.
So that's what's happening
right.
there.
So we'll be at Marshfield the entire time.
Yeah, unlike basketball where it's back and forth,
Yes.
back and forth.
Yeah.
They're keeping all 3A at Marshfield for that state level event.
Nice.
I hope they do that in basketball, too. So, speaking of basketball, I was going to ask Coach Garrett, but I didn't see him. But do you know the basketball schedule is on OSAA currently? Do you know if that is up to date at least for now?
It is. It is as up to date as it can be. The only thing that can go in is in December. Our girls get to go back to Marshfield High School to that wonderful Les Schwab tournament.
Right.
Still trying to find a competition for the boys during that time frame, but everything else is really locked in.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Because I know, of course, we're going to get prepared for that, and I think I'm going to be going over all of that this weekend. So,
Yeah. Yep, we're up to date in there, and even got our league baseball and softball put in already.
Nice.
So,
now, when is baseball and softball starting?
that'll start the third week of March.
Okay.
Yeah.
So currently, right now, then the only thing we have going is of course volleyball and football, and then soccer
And cross country.
and cross country right now.
Yeah, don't forget about our full cross country team that hasn't lost a single race this year.
Is that right?
Yeah, our girls team they've beaten the powerhouses in our area, both Bandon and Siuslaw at individual meets. So
Wow.
we got some hopes for some pretty good endings at the end of the season here.
Now, where does state happen for that?
Both our district and state meet are at Lane Community College.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a nice thing. We moved our district there a couple of years ago, just so the kids get used to running that course they'll have at state.
Sure.
That's awesome.
That is. Yeah, go Red Devils. Holy mackerel.
Yeah, got some
See,
good things going.
that's why we got Tony. See, he can
That's
keep
right.
us
Yeah, he keeps
up
us
to date with all of it.
Well, I will bid you gentlemen adieu and let you get calling this second set. And
Tony,
hopefully
thank
we
you
can
so
put it
much.
away.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Thanks,
sir.
guys.
I appreciate you. All righty. Well, of course, Tony Jones is our AD and guru and everything else you
All
can
around,
possibly think of.
all-purpose guy here on the campus. You bet. A man of many hats.
I'm telling you.
So we're beginning the second set of the match.
So we're going to have – thank you, Tony. I also want to say thanks so much for these T-shirts that he found in the archives, radio's T-shirts here.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
And the people in the audience were excited to get them.
They didn't have a clue when we got to give them away today.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
So there's Munoz, and she'll be serving for Siuslaw over the net to Coquille. And there's Johnson with a bump. Brophy gets it out there to Stinger. There's Duman, rather. And back to Coquille. Bottensek, Duman. Back over to the Red Devils.
That was to Lily. Drake knocking it over.
Duman over the net to Coquille.
Little to Johnson. And it's Brophy. And it's going to be a point.
Yeah, our libero, Paige Bottensek, got her fingertips on that one before it went out, so that'll put a point on the board for the Red Devils. 1-0 and in service.
Right on. So Miss Brophy will be in the back on the serve line. Here she comes.
Back to Siuslaw, Bottensek to Duman, Munoz over the net.
Brophy with the hit.
There's Munoz and Duman. Stinger back to Coquille.
Nice dig by Brophy. There's the set. There's you with the hit.
Stinger, Duman. And tapped over the net. That's Riggs.
Brophy, Johnson. Here comes Viju, but it's too strong, and it is out of play.
And that'll give the serve to Siuslaw. Scores 1-1, beginning of the second set of the match. And the serve goes over the net to Coquille. There's Johnson. Echeverria back over the net. Back to Stinger. Riggs, too strong, into the backcourt and puts a point on the board for the Red Devils. 2-1 the score. Averitt will be serving for Coquille.
Actually, that's Leighton.
Leighton. Bristol. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got a different
Oh, yeah.
number.
They changed up numbers on us tonight.
All right, there's Bristol. We got it. Okay.
Johnson over.
Oh, and a nice block puts it back over the net. Munoz trying to get. Oh, boy, what a mess they got going.
I'll tell you what. Averitt went ahead and blocked that at the net 3 times and tapping it over all 3 times. Eventually, here just got the point. Fantastic.
Yeah, what a scramble it was back here on the Siuslaw side of the court.
Never gave up on it.
No.
So now Leighton will be serving.
All right, Bristol Leighton's number 10 tonight. Very good.
Yeah.
There's Munoz.
I'm sorry I didn't update your sheet.
No harm, no foul.
Well, and it was funny because when I went to Coach Mindy, I says, well, she goes, oh, no, everybody's got a different number, but it's just for the night.
Oh.
And I said, oh. She goes, here's the sheet.
All right. Well, it was sweet of her to have everything prepared.
Oh, she's just wonderful to work with.
Serve to Coquille. Oh, but it was inside. It looked like it was going to be too strong. Just on the line. That put a point on the board for Siuslaw. The score 3-3, and they have the serve. Back on the back line is Chloe Clark serving for the Vikings.
Viju with the hit. Johnson on the set. Viju coming back with the head over.
And Stinger with the bump. Oh, just couldn't get there. Mia Snyder with a kill for Siuslaw.
Brophy would have had to be another foot taller.
Yeah. Boy, but she was diving for it.
Yes, sir. 4-3 now. Seuss is up by 1. There's Drake. Echeverria, and the hit over by Brophy.
And there's
And
Stinger.
a point.
Yep, couldn't keep it alive.
It's set up by Echeverria. As we're going to see Viju now on the serve line for the Lady Red Devils. Tied up 4-4.
There's Munoz, Stinger. Over to Coquille.
There's Brophy. Johnson with the set. Echeverria over.
All right.
Viju to Johnson. Off the net and over by Echeverria. Here it comes again.
Snyder, Stinger, Munoz.
Just out of the reach of Drake.
And that gives them the lead. The score 5-4. Siuslaw in the second set of the match. Abby Riggs serving for the Vikings.
Viju to Johnson. Echeverria, but it's just too strong. It goes out. It's hard to believe the regular season's almost come to an end.
I know. What a fast month it's been.
Viju to Johnson, back over to Viju.
But you know what? We're gone so much the dog started barking at me.
Great dig. Nice job by Johnson to put it over. Viju set that up so well, she dug down deep just to go ahead and get it back up. And Johnson just laid it over in between the front and back line.
Beautiful.
It's only 3 days a week we're going.
Three nights a week. Oh, nice work by Coquille. Puts a point on the board. Siuslaw trying to do a little work at the net and didn't turn out like they'd liked it to.
Of course, basketball will only be twice a week.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We'll slow down and get a break. But you know what? It's all worth it. We have a ball.
It's only for 5 months out of the year.
That's right.
There's a point for Coquille on the serve.
Gives us another, 7 months to go fishing and do all our other stuff.
Yeah. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
No. No, this is quite an honor.
Another serve by Little.
And there's Stinger for Siuslaw over the net. Wow.
Great job by Little.
Stinger over the net. Oh, Bijou keeps it alive. Stinger, Snyder.
Oh, yes, Everett. What a great job at the net.
Her shot is blocked. Now Coquille with the lead, 8-6.
Everett with playing that net so well. There's another good one by Little.
You talk about a shank. That one went hard left off the hands of Chloe Clark.
9-6. Coquille just jumped up by 3. And another point by Little.
All right. Bottensek going for the dig. Couldn't get that ball airborne. 10-6, Coquille.
And an ace.
All right. Way to go, Little.
Man, I tell you what. Candace is just laying it in there.
Yeah, she's awesome on the serve.
Oh, yeah.
Back to Siuslaw. There's Stinger. Munoz back to Coquille. It's blocked.
Oh, my gosh. What a great block. Once again by Everett.
12-6, Red Devils.
I tell you what, the ladies have really picked it up on that net with Lucatero out tonight. And another point for Little.
Tough dig. That was Lacouture going for the point. Timeout's been called. It's 13-6, Red Devils on top.
6 points right there. My.
Heck yeah.
But, I was making a comment. The girls are doing really well. Average playing extremely well on the net tonight, which we needed to have. With Lucatero out, as we mentioned, if you didn't hear, of course, speaking to Lexi there before the game, I looked at it and said, that don't look like game wear to me, and she got the street clothes on and everything. Anyway, she said, well, I thought I had that sprained ankle. I said, yeah. She goes, well, I actually tore the cartilage away from the bone.
Yeah, they got her wearing a cam walker tonight.
Yeah, so
those things are miserable as they can be.
Yeah, so Friday, she takes a trip up to, I believe it's orthopedics. They're going to take a look at things and see, exactly how bad it really is. I mean, her mom and dad are saying it's so emotional right now for them,
Sure.
Not knowing, and their daughter hurts, and, so they hurt. And so we'll know more after she's done at the doctor's on Friday, and hopefully it'll be able to be a quick recovery.
Well, we'll be praying about that. And there's Munoz with a tap, putting it over the net and a point on the board. For Siuslaw, gives them the serve, and that will take Kylie Stinger to the baseline for the serve for the Vikings. Jump serve into the net, and a point for Coquille. That'll give the service to Coquille and Peyton Drake to the back line.
Everett is going to come off, and Leighton will come on for the Lady Red Devils.
Oh, just inside.
Yes.
The line judge says.
Peyton thought, no, that was out, and she kind of looked at the line judge, but then she just smiled. Did you see that?
Yeah. Kind of like moving that first down, those chains the other night.
Yeah.
So Snyder on the serve, and below the net puts a point on the board for the Red Devils, gives them the service back. Johnson on the baseline serving for Coquille.
Good serve about mid-court.
Munoz.
Another block at the net, but it goes out of play off of Coquille. So ball will stay in the hands of Siuslaw with the point. 15-9 currently with Coquille up.
Munoz with the serve.
And there goes Bijou. Johnson. Bijou with the hit.
Snyder, it's out.
So let's just make it 16-9 Coquille. Little's going to sit down. Echeverria will come in with Brophy on the side. Excuse me, on the serve.
And to Stinger. There's Duman.
Brophy with a great dig out.
Duman, and a quick hit by Snyder puts it out of bounds, puts a point on the board. Red Devils at 17, Vikings at 9.
So Brophy again on the serve.
Picked up, there's Stinger. Duman. Oh, and tapped back over the net. That was Riggs trying to tap it over. Viju with the block.
Yeah, Viju did a great job with the block. Unfortunately, on the return back from her, it went out of bounds. There's the Brophy. Johnson. That's a Varia, and it's a point.
All right, Lily. 18-10, Red Devils.
Yes, yes, yes.
And checking in will be Locatour, and that will give Duman a rest. On the Siuslaw side of the ball.
And Leighton on the serve. And a point.
Oh, man, very nice. Tried to get the bump. Locatour couldn't get that ball airborne. 19-10. Munoz, there's Stinger with the bump and the hit over the net to Coquille. Munoz with the set. Stinger over the net.
Viju to Johnson with the set. Brophy met at the net, brought down. So Leighton will sit down. Drake will come back out. Drake, Johnson, Everett back over.
Back to Munoz. There's Stinger. Snyder over the net.
Well, they're saying Everett was a little too close into the net, evidently. So that's going to be a point. And ball goes back to Siuslaw.
There's the serve to the Red Devils.
Viju, Johnson, back to Viju.
Whoa, Munoz with the dig keeps the ball alive. Back to Coquille.
Brophy foot. Johnson. Get back over by Echeverria.
Stinger. Oh, and trying to get that is Abby Riggs trying to set the ball.
Viju and Everett right there on the block, getting the point for the Red Devils. Scores 20-12. Coquille up by 8 with Viju for the Lady Red Devils on the serve.
And there's Stinger, Munoz over the net.
Everett. Here comes that. Oh, it's a Maria. Just couldn't quite get it over. Looked like she might have just had the timing off just a hair.
I think that's what it was. The timing was.
Well,
just
you
a
know,
little off.
sometimes when you're right there and your wrist moves just a hair,
Yep.
you catch it more on the side of the hand. There's Drake. Johnson on the set. Viju over. And it's going to be long.
Boy, that was a good eye by Locatour back there in the back court. She started to throw those hands up and decided to let it go. Good call.
So we are in the second set, 20-14 currently. Coquille, Siuslaw with the serve. Viju, Johnson, Echeverria, and it's in. Yes. What a nice kill that was.
Lily says, I need that point back. Thank you.
That's right. So
She's awesome.
she'll actually take a quick sit, and of course we're going to have Candace Little come out, and she'll actually start serving now again for the Lady Red Devils.
Over the net.
And there's a point.
Locatour back into the net, puts one on the board. Red Devils at 22, Siuslaw at 14. Bugsek.
Oh, another point.
Nobody home. Our libero, Paige Bottensek for the Vikings, did get the pass. Nobody there to set. And there's Stinger with the set. Munoz.
Oh, just barely in.
Man.
Point for Siuslaw. 23-15 now.
Kylie Stinger in the backcourt serving for Siuslaw. Here's the serve.
Little to Johnson, who went over and a point as they were not ready for that. Great play by Johnson.
Yeah, well done.
Placed it right between the front and the back lines. Puts Drake on the serve.
And this is set point. Score is 24-15. And there's Duman.
And it's out.
Snyder.
There's
out.
the win. 25-15. Lady Red Devils. You know, I tell you, got to give a lot of that right there to Candace Little.
Yeah, really do. She's been very instrumental in putting some points on the board, that's for sure.
Very, very much so. And then Averett, I tell you what, Averett's playing a phenomenal game at the net tonight.
And, you know, she's a little more aggressive than I'm used to seeing her.
Well, and again, I think that it's important because these ladies all work so well together.
You bet.
And, you know, a couple of these ladies knew that they kind of had to rise up a little bit. Well, not that they don't, you know, don't take me wrong.
Of course.
But, you know, to give it a little extra oomph in here, you know, because Lucatero's out.
Yeah.
Now, to be honest with you, none of them have said that to me, but you can just tell what's going on. Lucatero's been on the bench down there. You know, she's talking with her teammates and just gave some high fives.
Yeah, no, yeah. Doesn't it break your
know?
heart? It looks like she's got kind of a long face this evening.
She has
That's
a very
shame.
long face on, yes.
Yeah.
It's very, very unfortunate, but, you know, as you said, we just we'll pray and hope the best for her because it's got to be a very painful situation also.
Oh, man. Yeah, and you know, to boot, she was out there playing on the thing for a couple of games after she injured it. But, you know, these young folks are tough.
Man, I tell you what.
I stubbed my toe. I got to take the day off. That's just how it is.
Oh, man, I tell you. So Coquille, as we've got about a minute and 45 seconds left here in the break, as they have taken the first two sets and playing extremely well. But, you know, on the second set, though, Siuslaw came out pretty strong right out of the gate, too. But
yeah, they sure
Coquille just did not give an inch. They just continued to battle it out, and obviously took the victory on that one.
Well, you know, first set was pretty tight. It was 21-25, Coquille with the win on that one.
Yes.
Like to take a moment to thank our friends at Farr's Hardware and Milky Way Feed and Tack for supporting the Coquille Red Devils, along with East Fork Lumber Company, Inspired Ink Tattoo Shop, and our friends at First Community Credit Union.
Absolutely. And as you're talking about them, how about Coquille Tire?
How about them? Hats off to Coquille Tire, keeping us safe on the road. And we will be on the road next week, bringing you broadcasts from Siuslaw and South Umpqua.
We are?
Isn't that Siuslaw next week? South Umpqua?
Is it?
I think so.
Okay.
We'll be bringing you the game somewhere, and we'll be on Coquille Tires doing it.
I'm just messing. Yeah, we will actually. Of course, we'll have Glide here Thursday. That is the last home game, folks. So it'd be amazing to fill this gym for these ladies.
Yeah, come on down and join us.
And then, as we were talking about, we have that Marshfield tournament, the Invitational over there, and that's going to be this Saturday. And then, yeah, like you said, Dan, our last two games are away games to finish up regular season. Siuslaw and then over to South Umpqua.
Be a busy week.
Yeah.
I like going up to Siuslaw. That's a nice facility up there.
Well, and you know, the ladies will definitely say, hey, you're coming to our house here next week, so we'll be ready for you regardless.
You betcha. So we're about to begin the third set of the match.
Officials looking over everything. Peyton Drake is over here just being silly with the coaches. She's been a character all night long.
She's having a ball tonight. That's it.
Johnson on the serve for the Red Devils. There's the bump. Here's the set. Bijou with the hit.
Duman. Munoz back to Duman.
And it's
out of bounds. Puts one on the board for Coquille.
And Coquille is hoping to be able to take this in 3 tonight. Johnson on her third serve.
And back over to Coquille.
Little. Johnson. Bijou. Is it in? It is in.
Another kill by Viju. That's 5 so far this game.
She's catching up with all those points from Little on the serve line.
Three kills by Brophy so far this evening. Serving to Siuslaw. And there is Riggs. Munoz. Back to Coquille.
Little, Johnson, here comes Brophy. And it's going to be a point for Coquille as it goes off the fingertips, off the player there for Siuslaw on the back line. Because that would have probably been out of play.
Yeah, but Abby Riggs decided to see if she could get that ball going. Unfortunately for them. There's Munoz, and there's Stinger.
Bijou, Johnson, over to Layton.
Stinger, Duman, and a point for Siuslaw.
But, you know, the ladies were right up there on the corner of that net. They just could not get back in time. They were pretty well already set in their position.
There's the serve.
Bijou, Johnson. Here comes Bijou on the hit. And it's going to be a point as it goes off the fingertips again of the folks on the front line. So Little's going to have a sit down. Echeverria's going to come back on the court.
And service goes to Coquille. Scores 4-1. Oh, into the net, puts a point on the board for Siuslaw.
We both said that at the same time. Can we all say, oh? You won't see that very often from Miss Brophy.
That's for sure.
There's Drake on the bump. Johnson, Layton.
Munoz to Stinger. And Riggs trying to get it over the net. Can't do that. Puts a point on the board. Red Devils at 5. Siuslaw at 2.
So Avery is coming back in. Drake will sit down for a breather. A lot of good rotation on and off the bench here tonight. Layton with a good serve. Johnson, Brophy. Oh, nice hit by Echeverria.
Yeah. Keeping it alive. Back to Coquille.
Brophy, Johnson, Echeverria. Oh, but it's met right at the net with a great serve back. Point for Siuslaw. So Drake comes in as Layton sits down.
Score is 3-5, and that takes Chloe Clark to the back court for service. Vikings serving to Coquille. Here's the serve. Hits the net. And a quick dive onto the court. Johnson trying to save it. 5-4 as Siuslaw trying to close the gap. Here's the serve.
There's Drake on the bump. Johnson with the set. Bijou, the hard hit over, but beautifully blocked at the net. Comes back over. Drake couldn't get to it. So it's a tie ball game now with that point going to Siuslaw, 5-5.
Abby Riggs with the block for Siuslaw.
There's Drake. Johnson. Yeah, that time it got blocked, but it goes out of bounds as Bijou hit it over.
It's like Bijou had that planned.
Bijou with the serve.
Munoz with the bump. There's the set.
Great job.
Oh, unfortunately.
That was a great job at the net, though, by Echeverria. It just went too far back on the bump.
Yeah, and a little shank off of Brophy's hand set it into the back. It's 6-6 with Siuslaw. Abby Riggs on the serve. Oh, Echeverria trying to keep it alive.
Well, she was up in the stands. That's a great effort.
Yeah, she sure was.
As the ball was just going backwards. I'm serious. She was in that first row of the stands.
Mm-hmm.
I think the student body tried to keep her standing straight up. She would have been going down for the... And that service out. So that brings it back into the hands of Coquille as it ties it 7-7 here in the third set. Yeah, you know, I really feel bad for Lucatero.
I do too. It's breaking my
Her
heart.
mom and dad are, you know, just really sad over it. Well, and the other thing is, too, I mean, they're concerned for their daughter, of course, but, you know, we just don't know what the outcome is, and it's more for her health than anything.
Absolutely. Yeah, she's got a whole very long life ahead of her. We want her to.
Well, you know, anytime your kids are hurting, you're hurting, so.
Yeah.
Great volley, some great digs here by both teams as Viju hits it back over the net. Oh, and it's a slam to where Drake could not handle it. That was close to going out, but it was such a hard hit. It rolled up off of her hands, actually, out of bounds. So we got 8-7.
Kylie Stinger. Oh, Coquille keeps it alive.
Great job by Brophy to dig it up and out.
There's Duman and Snyder tipping it over the net.
Johnson, Drake, Viju. Great job at the net. Ladies are doing a fantastic job going back and forth.
Nice work by Johnson getting it over the net. Snyder.
And we got a point.
Block.
Averett at the net. Man, that was some great play by both sides of the net, without a doubt. Drake on the serve for the Lady Red Devils with the tie 8-8. There's the point.
Shank off to the right-hand side off the hands of Stinger. Puts a point on the board for Coquille, up by 1 with a score of 9.
There's Viju with the bump, the set. Brophy with the hit.
Munoz, Snyder over the net.
Viju to Johnson. Leighton with the hit, and hit is in. Great kill by Leighton. Puts the Red Devils now up by 2 with the score 10-8 in the third set.
There's Stinger. Back over the net to Coquille.
To Drake. Johnson. Leighton with another hard hit, and it's in. Another kill, 2 in a row for Leighton.
All right.
That was just barely in. Placed
Boy, yeah.
perfectly in the corner.
Talk about placing the ball in the right spot.
So Drake will be on the serve line here again for the Lady Red Devils. 11-8. Good serve.
Oh, just a tap over the net. Coquille keeps it alive.
Brophy puts it over. Hits the net. Back and forth on the net. The Red Devils just couldn't dig it out one more time as it falls on the court. So that will be a point. Siuslaw 11-9. Coquille up by 2.
And Mia Snyder serving for Siuslaw. And a jump serve.
Little to Johnson. Brophy with the hill and the point.
Oh, wow. Another kill for Brophy.
So Coquille is finding themselves 3 points up now with the score 12-9 in the third set. Caitlin Johnson will do the serving.
Bartonsack, Munoz, back to Coquille.
Oh, man, that was a great dig by Little. Unfortunately, just swung out to the left, so went out of play.
Munoz with the serve.
And Coquille will take that one for a point back.
Little strong on that serve for sure.
So we're going to have Brophy at the serve line now.
And back to Coquille.
Goes to Drake. Here's to Johnson. Viju over.
Munoz to Duman. Back to Munoz.
Well, that came inside. Between Drake and Brophy, just a little miss of communication, you might say.
And that puts Stella Duman on the back line. She's serving.
Brophy, Johnson, Drake over.
Munoz to Stinger. Oh, Riggs.
My gosh, what a play by Coquille and the point.
All right.
It was blocked at the net, I don't know how they were able to get a hand on it to bring it back up and then knock it over.
Sure did.
It was a phenomenal play. I want to see that on Instagram. I'm going to turn YouTube on just to see that play
just to watch
tonight.
that play. I hear you.
Leighton on the serve.
There's Munoz with the bump, and the set is blocked and down in their side of the court. Vikings 15-11. Coquille up by 4 with the serve. There's the serve. Munoz with the bump. Stinger with the set. Snyder.
Oh, that one
Over the
slipped
net.
right over the shoulder of Bijou.
Yeah. And that'll give the Vikings a serve. (15-12). Coquille on top. Here's the serve. Oh, and it was long. Puts a point on the board for the Red Devils.
We'll take that back.
You betcha. 16-12, Coquille.
Bijou on the serve.
And Stinger with the bump. Snyder with the point.
Great effort by Peyton Drake as she just laid out, tried to get the bump on it, just out of her reach. That's one of those like Brophy. You just need to be an inch taller.
That's right.
Or a foot taller, I meant.
And
Bijou on the bump. Set by Brophy. There's a hit by Bijou.
There's the set.
Cerveria gets it over.
Munoz, Stinger. Back to Munoz.
Off the back side of the hand, if you will, of the wrist by Brophy, so that goes out of play.
Here's the serve.
Bijou, Johnson, Everett with the hit and the score.
Coquille with the score.
Man, I tell you what, win, lose, or draw, I don't know who in the heck is going to be our athlete of the game, brought to you by Emily Schroeder Funeral Service.
Tough.
Man. Little with the serve. It's an ace.
All right.
Oh, man, she has just been everywhere.
She puts the points on the board when she's serving, I'll tell you what. 18-14. Button-Sec and Stinger with the set. Snyder over the net. Coquille. Johnson. Brophy with a
puts
tip.
it over.
Button-Sec back over.
Bijou, Johnson. Everett. Oh, Everett was right there, but her timing was off and just couldn't hit it solidly.
And that gives the service to Siuslaw. Serving for Siuslaw will be Abby Riggs. Nope, that's Kylie Stinger.
There's Drake.
And the bump.
Bijou with the hit. Too strong. Goes out. So you got Siuslaw making a quick comeback. It's 18-16. Coquille only up by 2.
Here's the serve. And it's out.
Coquille will take that one back and be very happy over it.
You bet. 19-16, Red Devils. Peyton Drake taking the serve. Here's the serve. Oh, too strong. Point back to Siuslaw. 19-17, Coquille with a 2-point lead. And that will put Mia Snyder on the back line for service. Vikings to the Red Devils. Here's the serve.
Good dig by Drake. Over by Johnson.
Munoz, Duman, Munoz. Oh, with a hard slam. They tried to block it. Went down on the Coquille side of the net. It's a 1-point ball game now. 19-18. Siuslaw with the serve. And that'll take Mia Snyder to the back court for service. Here's the serve.
There's the bump, the set. Brophy with the hard hit. It's going to be a point for the Lady Red Devils.
Yeah, you can't hit that ball twice.
How come?
I don't know. That's how Hoyle wrote the rules. 20-18, Coquille. Here's the serve.
Johnson with the serve for the Lady Red Devils.
And Duman getting it over the net.
There's Little. Johnson. Bijou. Back over again.
Duman.
There's Drake. Here's Johnson. Brophy with a nice little touch over the top. They were expecting a hard hit. They were set up for the block. She just laid it right over him.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Brophy is notorious for slamming that ball over the net.
Johnson with the serve.
And there's Stinger, Duman, Munoz over the net.
Blocked at the net. Here comes the Lady Red Devils. Leighton over.
Duman, Snyder.
There's Little. There's Johnson. Oh! I was going to say it looked like Siuslaw was over the net. Well, there's a little confusion going on right now.
You bet.
But Siuslaw gets the point. Either way, 21-19. Coquille only up by 2. Now, Siuslaw was on our side of the net, so here comes Bijou. Great job.
Yeah, keeping it alive.
But it goes out by Siuslaw.
Abby Riggs sending that one to the backcourt.
22-19.
Brophy's having a ball tonight, too. Look, she's...
I think the ladies are just having fun.
Yeah, they're having fun out there tonight.
Brophy, and it's a score.
And a tip off the hands of Abby Riggs.
23-19.
And that'll put Brophy in the backcourt for Coquille. Here's the serve. And back to Stinger, Munoz. And over the net, that's Riggs. Coquille answers back. Back to Siuslaw. There's Duman. Snyder with a slam. She gets the kill. That puts one on the board. 23-20. And the serve goes to Siuslaw. Stella Duman with the serve. And it's strong. Puts a point on the board for Coquille.
Well, that's 24-20. Now we're looking at game point right here, Dan.
Yes, sir.
And we got Miss Leighton on the serve line.
Munoz with the bump. The set is Stinger. Munoz back over the net.
Leighton. Johnson. Brophy from backcourt.
Stinger setting it over the net. Kept alive by Coquille.
And it was tipped by Coquille, but it went out of bounds, so that's a point. 21-24. Coquille is still up by only by 3. Leighton hits the bench. Drake comes to the court.
Chloe Clark with the serve.
Drake. Johnson over by Brophy.
Munoz. Back to Stinger. Snyder. Oh, can't handle that one.
Went off the hands and the fingertips of Brophy. Goes out of play. 24-22. Coquille still up by only by 2.
Chloe Clark serving for Siuslaw.
Drake.
Clark keeping it alive. Munoz back to Coquille.
Drake on the bump. Johnson with the set. Bijou, and it goes off the fingertips of Siuslaw out of bounds. That's a win for the Lady Red Devils of 25-22. And the game, I tell you what, was just amazing tonight. And, you know, we had post-game report brought to you by the city of Coquille. Let's break it down. First set was just as good as the second, or the third, actually. We had 25 Coquille, 21 Siuslaw. The second 25 Coquille, 15 for Siuslaw. And then here in this third set was fantastic, back and forth. Great play at the net, 25-22. And Coquille takes 3 games straight. And ladies and gentlemen, it's our honor to introduce to you tonight. Thank you so much to Amley Shorter Funeral Service, Candace Little as our athlete of the game. She was able to have, 6 scores straight, played phenomenal throughout the entire game, offensively and defensively. And so we just want to say thank you so very, very much to Jay, Emily Schroeder Funeral Service, for being our sponsor. That now, did you have any other stats at all?
Well, I just wanted to point out that Holly had 6 kills this game, Brophy with 4, and Layton with 2. Outstanding work and a great game by the Coquille Red Devils.
Well, and I got to say this too, at the net. We've talked a lot about the girls really kicking their game up, and you can really tell, especially with Lucatera out. The whole team feels that as well. But what's been amazing is you've got Everett and you've got Layton at the net right there. Now, of course, you've got, Vijou and all of it, but those 2 young ladies, in my opinion, just really stepped it up big time right there at the net, and this did a phenomenal job. And then, the whole team as a whole just came together and played extremely well to be able to take all 3 games.
Absolutely. Yeah, great show by the Red Devils.
Fantastic. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in tonight. As we mentioned, we'll be back on the air Thursday. That is the last home game for the Lady Red Devils. So we'd love to encourage you all to please come out and support them to the fullest. I know they would greatly appreciate it because after the tournament Saturday at Marshfield, well, we're going to be on the road for the final 2 games. And so I know it would mean a lot to them. So, again, thank you so much to our sponsors. Just FYI, you were able to increase our scholarships to $600 a student athlete for each of the games that we do broadcast. And so we greatly appreciate that. And thank you again to all of our sponsors that make this broadcast possible. So until Thursday night, right back here at the Double Dome, on behalf of Dan and I, good night, everyone.